Hey, what's happening, everybody?
What's happening, everybody?
We're coming from the 14th floor of the Whitney Peak Hotel, where we're staying here in Reno. And I know you guys just got through watching Roz live, so I'm coming on because we had an amazing experience last night, right? And this morning. And we just wanted to follow up and share with that. So, I came in, to support my wife. I am so proud of you. You went on live. You've been doing that on Fridays. And normally I'm at work.
I skip most Fridays, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
So and I'm just happen to be off this Friday. We took this time off. We got away. We didn't have any shoots this weekend, and we need that every once in a while.
I know I do.
Yeah.
I just spin around in the house, cleaning and complaining. Huh?
Yeah,
I know.
Man, this 14th floor is awesome.
It's amazing.
And we're looking down. You guys can't see, but it's like hundreds of thousands of people right now. I won't put it like that. I'm joking.
It's quite a few.
It's quite a few.
Yeah.
Probably about 4,000 or 5,000 people down there, and it's the Reno Chicken Wing
Cook-Off
Festival.
Okay.
Or cook-off.
Yeah, we're gonna have some wings.
We're gonna go down there. Right. As long as I don't mess with them habanero ones, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Right. Because I'm like this. He can't handle those.
Not handle anything hot.
All right. So, anyways, you guys.
So
we just wanted to come on really quickly and share the goodness of God, because God is still, He's still great and He's still doing wonderful things, and we just want to acknowledge Him and the things that He does. A lot of times we say, "Oh, that's luck." For one, we don't believe in luck, but
no.
We just decided, okay, they had the fireworks by the river, and okay, we wanted to get a quick bite before they started, and so we just found this restaurant. I love seafood, so we walked down to the river and then walked back for a bite to eat. So we're just sitting there having a good time, having a meal, and it was just great. And there was this couple sitting in front of us because we were sitting on the same side.
And they had their dog.
And they had their dog.
Sitting there.
Cute, big dog.
Uh-huh.
So we're just sitting there enjoying the view, enjoying each other's company.
Right.
And definitely the food. And then, so we're going to get up and pay our bill and go enjoy some fireworks. So
we had
a check.
Yeah, it was a great conversation with the elderly couple, because of course what you said to me was like, honey, when we get like their age, that's how we're going to be.
I'm going to be doing that hanging out.
Of course, they had their bottle of wine. They had 2 bottles of wine. I was like, they gonna drink both of that? Y'all, I was like, they gonna be lit.
Yeah, but they were enjoying one another's company, and they were enjoying just life, right? Yeah. Just life. So they bring us our check, and we're waiting for it. But let me back up, because the wine that the couple had, that they were sharing, the gentleman went to pour himself some more wine, and the top was on it. And I kind of looked at him, and our eyes connected, and then we just both kind of started laughing. Like, okay, you can't get wine out if you don't take the top off. So anyway, just the little things, not great big conversations between the four of us, just little small things. So, okay.
Yeah.
And then they bring us the check.
Yeah, they brought us the check, and of course, we were getting out the credit card. And as we were getting the credit card, we gave the credit card to the waitress, and then she walked away. She walked away, and then me and Roz were just sitting there, we're waiting for her to come back. And then of course we were talking about, looking at the menu. I saw somebody had some deep fried fish, which I don't need anyway. Right, so crab. I was like, oh, they must got a second part of this menu we didn't know anything about. And so she basically, when she returned, and she was giving us the receipt, and I looked and I saw these zeros at the bottom, but I didn't trip, right? And she said, your bill is already taken care of. And of course, we both had that look on our face, like, what you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, but this one right here likes to talk, and so to render him speechless, I'm just like, what? Why is he quiet? Wait a minute. What do you mean? What do you mean? She said, your bill has been settled.
Settled.
We're just like, what? Looking around, wow, shocked, not expecting it. But an afterthought for me was like, why wouldn't God bless us?
Yeah.
Just to show that His presence is everywhere, right? Just the little.
Yeah. And things. I got that little. I kid you not. I got the doubting Thomas in me, right? So basically, I'm like, okay, we at Reno, is this a setup? And then I was like, nah. So I had to go to the restroom. I went to the restroom. My wife doesn't know this part. I came back and I shared. So I saw the waitress in there, and I was like, okay, all right, who was it? And she was like, no, Mr. Malone, I can't tell you. They promised me not to tell you, and so on.
Typically they don't.
And they
typically
don't.
when someone pays it forward,
right?
They don't want to know. They don't want you to know. They want to remain anonymous. So that's kind of interesting because you were in the restroom and you were trying to get the information, but I kind of had a sneaking suspicion who it was.
Mm-hmm.
I figured it was the couple that was sitting across from us. So
of course,
I was trying to make eye contact with him, and he wouldn't really make eye contact with me at first, but I just probably was staring him down. Like, you need to look up. So he kind of gazed up, and I just said, thank you.
Yeah.
I know it was you.
And then upon my return, right, even talking to the manager and the back there and also the waitress, and they were like, no, just it's a blessing and so on and whatnot. I was like, it's a blessing. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you know what, you're right. So as I came back out, right, I figured with my wife and what she was doing talking out there, she figured out who it was, and it was the couple actually in front of us. And
the man's eyes, you guys, even before you returned to the table, he was just saying, someone told me. It was just on my heart, but he kept pointing up. Like, I know what that pointing up means, but teary-eyed, he said, I've been doing this for 40 years.
40 years.
And I'm just like, wow. And I was like, just bless you.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for even thinking of us, for even seeing us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But the blessing we received and how we returned the blessing back to Him was the fact that I was wearing my shirt that my wife brought for me from
Warrior Nation.
Yeah. It was when you went to Texas, right? And I got this shirt that says M633, right? Which means Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. And so basically what that took place was a conversation between me and him. And he was like, so what does that mean? I've been watching that shirt. So it was really like what he did for us is what the scripture did for him, because basically what happened was that conversation that took place, honey. And I explained to him what it meant.
It was funny. He said, I just want to take a picture of the shirt. I won't get your face. I'll show you the picture.
He said, I'll show it to you.
I just want that because I have a religious friend.
Yeah.
Religious friend, right? And I'm just like, whoa, okay. So when we explained to him about how we're following Warrior Nation and how, we're on this mission that every AM and PM at 6:33, according to Matthew 6:33, we stop and pray, no matter where we are,
where we're at,
together,
or not,
if we're apart, or if we're across the aisleway in the stores. We glance at each other and we will stop and pray right then and there.
6:33.
And the beautiful thing is
Saturdays and Sundays too.
Saturdays and Sundays, praying without ceasing and acknowledging Him, right? So the beautiful thing for me, and that really touched my heart, past the judgment, or past them just paying for our meal.
Yes.
Was the fact that, okay, he wanted to know what it meant. That's one. But the most important thing for me, and God gets the glory for this, is he says, I have a religious friend, I want to share this with them.
Yes.
I can't promise you that I will do this all the time, but I will try. To pray at 6:33 a.m.
Yes.
And 6:33 p.m. So that was blessing.
That was a blessing.
And we just walked away and like, I mean, just sitting, walking, and like, wow. No other words, just wow. But as I started to think about it, I'm like, you know what? That's the Lord, letting us know
it was awesome.
that, He is with us. We had a conversation, a pretty heartfelt conversation even before that. Just about life, about relationship, about our marriage, about sold out Saturday stories, just about everything. And then went out to dinner and was blessed by this couple paying for us. But as I continued to walk away, it just kind of like sat with us. And then I started thinking about, the goodness of God and the little things that God does that we kind of take for granted sometimes. But even acknowledging Him in that exchange, right? So that was one thing.
Yeah.
That was one.
So the night continued, of course, and we just had some awesome fireworks where we were waiting. It was funny, but it was like a choir and a band and so on, watching the kids play. Yeah. It was really nice, and from there we basically came on home, and then right where the hotel we were staying at, the 14th floor, we actually could have seen some.
I kept telling him.
But hey, we saw what we saw. This is what God shared with us at that point in time, because if we would have just stayed here at the 14th floor, we would have missed out on the blessing at the
And it's funny that you brought that up, and I kept forgetting about that. But remember, you were like, okay, well, they had some little trucks out where we were waiting for the fireworks. And you want to get some tri-tip here, you want to get there. But me, the lover of seafood that I am, I'm like, nope, I want to go back to that fish place that we saw. I want to go back there. I want to go back there. And lo and behold, it was a setup.
It was a setup.
It was a divine, I think, appointment, a setup. God set it up. So we went back there, and had we not gone back there, one, we wouldn't have been blessed with the meal, which was a great meal. And then most importantly, we wouldn't have been able to share the love of Christ with an old elderly couple who don't know Him but know about Him. Because that finger to me, that pointing up, and that emotion that he felt behind that deed that he did, so that was a divine setup for me. So,
and the tears that came from his eyes.
Oh my God!
But you know what, honey, moving forward, this morning,
blessings continue. Before we go to that next thing,
let's go back to the waitress.
You let me. Okay, go ahead.
No, you do it. Tell them about what you did for the waitress, even though it was taken care of for us.
So I told the couple before we even left them, we will pay it forward.
Yes.
And so they were like, oh yeah, that's it, pay it forward. Okay, so fast forward to the next morning, this morning. We, wanted to go. We went to the gym, did our little workout, got to keep the temple in shape too. So from there, we left and went and had a bite at Denny's, the restaurant in town. And so the meal was all messed up. Not messed up, but cold. And I want some hot breakfast.
Hot.
Not to be complaining and all of that. So fast forward. Go ahead. The lady was real. The hostess was really sweet. She was really apologetic. She went on saying how they're short cooks. There were only 2 there, and you guys, it was really crowded. People were waiting for their food. So I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm not trying to complain. I know she's doing what she can, and I know that they're doing what they can to serve all these people who want their meals quick and hot and all of that. So she kind of took it back for us and warmed it up again, and then the eggs were just not right again. And so I'm like, can I just
because we wanted real eggs.
Yeah, and we wanted real eggs. And I just was like, you don't have to take the whole plate. Can you just nuke my eggs, or just just some heat to them, so I can add my own hot sauce and whatever. So anyway, she was apologetic, and I just was assuring her, oh no, I know it happens. It happens. So anyway, we got up, go settle our bill, and she was behind the counter still doing her job, right? And so I called her over and I said, I just want to bless you, and here's your tip, and I gave her a tip. I didn't just, hey, here's $1. I tipped her because I wanted her to know,
awesome
I know it's not you, and I'm not trying to complain, but I want to bless you. And just her response, I almost broke down there, right then and there in the restaurant, because it just touched my heart, because she said, this means more to me then you know.
Yes. You know, honey, the way you tipped her, right? It takes me back to something that was given to us many, many years ago about going into restaurants and waitress, you know, giving waitress and waiters tips. Because a lot of times what we do, you know what we do, y'all, is like, if I don't get good service, you're not getting a good tip. But what's revealed to us, I'm gonna believe it was Pastor Joe Brown who shared this with us at our church, and he was like, this is the perfect time to give someone a awesome tip when you don't get the bad service, because you don't know what they're actually going through.
Get the bad service.
And you get the bad service. So it's like taking it and flipping the script and giving them something. So now you just made their day, right? We're not trying to make you feel guilty about what you did and so on, because whatever's taking place in your life is already taking place. So let's be a positive influence. Right,
you know what? God blesses us to be a blessing, not to keep it and hoard it for ourselves, but to be a blessing. So just that little gesture, blessing this lady who she thought, you know, I just ruined it all, and I just wanted to let her know, you know what, I see you.
I see you.
And so I blessed her, and just the fact that she was just like really thankful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and you just don't know how much this means to me. That alone touched my heart.
Yes.
So of course, if you know me, you know I don't always finish my food.
And
so Mr. Malone goes, you know, we don't have a microwave in our unit, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I know, because in my mind, I'm already thinking, I'm going to box this food up.
Yes, that's
and
what you said.
whoever I see, I'm going to bless them. So when you said that, I'm like, yeah, I know, right? So we're on our way out. And I said, okay, honey, we need to look for someone to give this hot meal to.
Yes.
Because we didn't touch the hash browns. We didn't touch the bacon or the sausage or anything like that. So there was this elderly lady sitting outside of the restaurant putting on makeup. And I said, okay, honey, like who we're going to bless, let's go find someone. And I said, you know, let's bless her right there. You know?
Let's go over there.
So we go over there and we say hello and are you hungry? You know, and she just says, you know what, I'm so hungry.
Basically said she was starving.
And a really pretty elderly young lady just sitting on the grass and putting on her makeup, trying to make herself look the best that she can in her situation. You guys, she was homeless. And she told us, I'm 70 years old. I lost my home, and I've never been out here like this. I don't know what happened, you know, and we were just talking to her, and, you know, Mr. Malone, do you know who God is? She knew.
She knew.
Do you know that he loves you? She knew that.
Where does he live at?
She knew where he lived in her heart. She knew all of that. But even if she didn't, you know, he's having a conversation, and then I just started praying over her. And, you know, she started crying.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
It's the little things that we take for granted, and we pass by people like they're no one. And as I said before, God is no respecter of person, and he blesses us to be blessings to others, not to just, you know, judge them or not to know their story. We don't know people's story.
We don't know their story.
And so again, we have sold out Saturday stories, you guys, and with this ministry that God gave us, because I know I couldn't think of it on my own. I couldn't, don't want to be on social media, don't want to, that is totally not me. So even if you don't believe in me, believe that God can use me. Believe that right there. And I'm just doing
I would say, and I would say this, one of the biggest prayers that we have in this ministry that we're doing is God to keep us humble, and then it's not us,
break us,
right? It's all about you. It's about the relationship you have with us, so we can have that relationship with people to show the Christ within us, right? To continue to share and give things, and you know, that's just awesome, because as I went back, my wife was like, oh,
I forgot to get the utensils.
Yeah.
I thought about it.
I'm like, she's going to be eating with her fingers and all like that.
I said, honey, you take it to her.
You know, so I was like, okay, I'm going back into the restaurant. I went back into the restaurant, and I said, hey, do you guys have any utensils that I can to go? Yeah. And the lady Darlene, who came and poured your hot coffee.
And I was like, hey, Darlene, freshen up my coffee.
Right, so she's like, here, baby. Yeah. kind of elderly
it's
women.
Just little conversations.
What's up with these elderly women be trying to come on to me? You know what I'm saying?
It's all about him, right? No.
So she's like, "Here, baby." So I basically got it, and I went outside, and the lady was gone. I was like, "Oh man!" And I looked, and she was way down the other end. So I caught up with her, and I gave her the utensils, and she was still crying, and she said, "I was so hungry." Wow. So God bless you guys for what you did. And I said, "Yeah, you just don't know how you made us feel, for the simple fact that you do know God, and God is going to change your situation. He knows you. He sees this situation, and we're just thankful that He allowed us to share with you.
Just be a part of it.
Be a part of you.
You know, there's so many out there.
Yeah. And as I was returning from the car, back to the car, there was a lady who said to me, "That was so nice what you did. I saw the whole thing from the start to the beginning. What a blessing." And all I could say was, "To God be the glory."
Yeah.
So that's where we're at right now.
That's our stories, you guys. That's our story. That is the God that's living in us and that's working through us, and we don't take it for granted.
Yeah,
so do the same thing. That's why when I do come on, when I do have the courage and the boldness to come on, my thing is always, it's a brand new morning. It's a brand new day, and we are not consumed because God's mercies are brand new every single day. And so love on purpose. Yeah. So that's our message. We're out of here. Let's go.
Yeah, we're going to go down there and check out these wings, But that 90-degree, you need to get me back in quick.
Yeah. You guys have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day. God bless you.